songwriter, producer, Mr. Vargas Thomas. Mr. Thomas, please tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Man, listen, I'm from Dayton, Ohio. We call it the land of funk, where we get so many great artists that come out of Dayton, Ohio, from the Ohio Players to Zap, Roger. Oh my goodness, the list goes on with Heat Wave and many other groups from Dayton, Ohio. So I'm a product of Dayton, Ohio, and we're glad to be a part of the Dayton funk scene.
Okay, KK. Now, going back to your early beginnings, you are a self-taught instrumentalist. Who inspired you to get on the keys?
Man, listen, it started with my brothers. My brothers had a band, and this story is, man, I've been sharing this with people because I'm the youngest of five guys, five brothers,
Mhm.
and my brothers had a band, but they didn't have a keyboard player. They had the drums, they had the guitars, the horns, and all these other instruments, but they didn't have a keyboard player. And man, I wanted to be in the band so bad, so I had to figure out a way to get in there. And the way that I got in there was to start learning how to play and learning the songs. And that's exactly how it happened. I taught myself to play the keyboards. I learned some songs. Then next thing you know, I was in the band.
Okay, KK. Now you began playing keyboard for your brothers, like you said. You barged in on their party because I heard that you just had an infinity, like you just asked your dad, like you had to get in this band with them, period.
Absolutely. Speaking of my dad, my father, he was the manager, bless his heart, and he had some love for me. He said, "Well, I'm gonna have you be the MC," and I was saying,
Right.
"Okay, I introduce him and all that, but I want to be up there with him." But yeah, he said, "Okay, we're gonna get you on in there eventually."
Now, how did playing the keyboard in the band affect your personal relationships with your family in general? Because, like you said, your dad was the manager.
Yeah, well, it's a family oriented situation, so it the process was very easy, very good. Everybody supported one another. My brothers, they made sure I knew my parts and helped me play. So it was just one of those things. We practiced all the time, to perfect it. So it was a genuine effort from everybody.
Right.
Absolutely.
It was like the Jackson Five or a little less.
I would say it was, the stories I hear that they went through. I mean, always practicing and performing. And yeah, we definitely did all that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, who else have you played for, and what is your favorite studio session?
Well, I've played with let me start it over. Southern soul blues artist, Big Rob. I went on the road with him for several years, being his keyboard player. And then after that, I did my own solo project. But as far as the big shows and all that, I would say my very first show was with Cameo. Back in the day, we opened act for them, me and my brothers, and another group was Midnight Star. We did a lot of
Oh,
shows with them. So yeah, those was the oldie but goodie shows back in the day. But here recently it was the local, doing the local shows around the area.
okay. Now you've named some powerhouses. Those weren't small names back then. So
Absolutely.
now you have new music called If I, a romantic ballad. Now, do you think romance is missing from this era? And this is the song that's symbolic of the 90s era of love to remind people of what that feels like.
Absolutely. That was my approach. I wanted to have a song that would resonate with everybody, and have a good feel good overtone to it. So that was my direction on it. And just trying to have from a lyrical stance, just something that people can relate to. And the question is, if I called you, would you talk to me? If I text you, would you text me back? And if I knock on your door, would you invite me in? So you're trying to meet this person and you're just being straightforward.
Right.
If I called you, would you call me back? So those are some things I believe everybody could relate to. And I just put that thing in a good melody with a good rhythm behind it. And man, it turned out very well. I'm very excited about it.
I'm excited too.
Yeah,
Now, do you know when you've had bad, mediocre music, and what do you do until you get it right?
absolutely, man. I'm sitting behind my computer right now, and I have a file that
Hmm.
some things just don't make it. And I will listen to it, analyze it, and then some things, gets put on the back burner. I am my worst critic, I guess, because I want to put out some good quality music. That is my intent, is to have, good quality product to go out before I release it. But there are some things that just don't make the cut, you know. So
Right.
I would be the first to say, no, we need to go back and do something else to it, or we don't release it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
Yeah.
right. You're your first critic. Now, you now it's another question that I wanted to add with that. Like, what is your recipe?
Well, my recipe is always, I start with the foundation. Normally it's the melody and the
Hmm.
drum beat, because you got to get the feeling of it first. And I always try to have a good melody, something that people can relate to, something that can be repeated. And
Right.
then again, like you said, it's got to feel good. It's got to be emotional, because music is emotion. So I want to tap into your emotions and have you feel, what I'm doing. And a lot of that starts with the beat, the drum beat, and then of course the bass and keyboards, and we just keep adding track by track until the thing is completed.
Right.
That's my recipe.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Now, do you you wrote the track, but how did you select the vocals? Like, what was sampling the vocals for that particular track? Because, like you said, you did the melodies first.
Yes, yes. I had my good friend he sang my chorus and my hook for me.
Hmm.
Uh, but again, it's one of those processes where I'll sit down at the keyboard, work out the part, and sang it, and just put it all in. It's a process,
Right.
verse by verse, word by word, and that's how I'll do it. We got to come up with the chords and the melody, put it on the tape, and mix it, and make it all come together.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Next thing you know, you got a quiet storm. Now, now this is I'm shaking it up a bit. You shared a meme on Instagram recently that says, "The past got me humble, the present got me thankful, my future got me focused." Tell me about a humbling experience from your past that serves you as an ego adjustment for the now.
Well, that is many years ago. Me and my brothers again. We landed a contract with Zapp and Roger. They produced our two albums,
Hmm.
and uh, and I come to know that, you know success is what you make it,
Right.
and it doesn't last forever. You got to take each day for what it is. And, those were some big years back there. But the humbling part of it is it doesn't last forever. So even though we had a deal or whatever, life goes on after that deal, you
Right.
know. So that was a humbling spirit to know that, okay, you got the deal, you got the record, but then once that's all said and done, life goes on and you got to keep on pushing. So that's very humbling to know that just because you get a record deal, that doesn't change anything for you.
That's right.
It's an achievement. That's wonderful, but you're still a person. So that's very humbling to know that. Don't let stardom or this showman thing go to your head, and think that you're above life, because that ain't the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about the present and the reason you are thankful.
The present is because this many years later, I'm able to write, produce, and publish my own music and do it my way. you
Okay.
know uh I'm the producer, I'm the writer. So, and again, I can release the songs that I want to release when I want to release them. That's the privilege of being an independent artist. It is a lot of work, you know but at the same time, the reward is I have that ability to pick and choose exactly what I want to do, what style I want to do, and when I want to release it. You
Right.
know, so that freedom of the present right there, that's very what's happening right now. You know, absolutely.
You shelve your own music because it's not ready yet, or it doesn't sound quite the way you need it to sound, but not because a machine like a label puts you there.
Right, right. I make that decision. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, tell me about the present and the reason you are thankful.
Well, the thankfulness
No,
is
no,
because
no. You just answered that.
that was the present. Yeah,
Did you answer that?
yeah. The present is me doing this, releasing this music now.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's the present, and I'm able to do it this many years later. That is the
okay.
present state that I'm in. Now, my thankfulness is that God gave me the gift to be able to play. You know,
Right,
I taught myself how to play. I didn't do any lessons, didn't have any professional training. So I'm thankful that I'm able to write and produce the music. It kind of ties into the present, absolutely. But the thankfulness is, to be able to put this out and know that people will even listen to it and support it,
right.
from an independent artist, and even speaking with you right now, to talk to you right now. Well, I'm thankful to do this,
Thank
because
you.
this is a blessing. You're helping me. Whoever see this is seeing me for the first time.
Right.
So, that's a beautiful thing. And I'm humble and I'm thankful and grateful for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, what new material and projects has you more focused than ever before?
Well, the current right now, just earlier today, I was in the studio recording some vocals. I'm a little hoarse now, but this is what's happening now. Staying focused, recording, writing, and even like you was talking about some posts that I made on the social media. That's a part of my process on a daily basis as well. I have to post. I have to be a content creator. So
Right.
a lot goes into it. And so, yeah, we're very focused and we are, taking each step slowly so that we take our time to get some good quality content and product.
I love
Yeah,
that. And like I took notice that you do a lot of marketing. Is that important for you as an independent artist?
very important. Very important. If I don't do that, no one know who I am.
Right.
So, and I always try to say that on my posts. I want people to, even if you don't like it, you can put on there you don't like it and share it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because again, whoever your friend is, if they didn't know me or if you didn't share it, they would never know me. So,
Right.
give someone the opportunity to say, yay, I like it, or no, I don't. So I ask people to at least like and share the information that I put out there.
Now, with your production company, do your brothers still work with you, or you're just paying homage with the title?
Yes, my brother, his name is Mark Thomas, aka Pleasure Moore. We work together. Actually, that's what I was just talking about earlier. We're doing a collaboration on another song. So we are always doing collaborations and writing songs and producing. So we are in production together. And I also have another brother. His name is Clark Thomas. He handles behind the scenes stuff. He helps me out with that as well. So it is a family oriented situation, but a lot of it do fall on me because I am the quote unquote the musician and the producer of it all.
Right, right. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you have a lot of families that's not doesn't have a good bond like you have, even to create music, let alone sit together for Thanksgiving. So I think that's phenomenal.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely.
Now, who else would you like to work with?
Man, on a professional level, I grew up and I really to this day I still love New Edition, Bobby
Mm.
Brown. If I could ever do a song with Bobby Brown, I know he ain't recording stuff now, but man, I'm a big fan of Bobby Brown. I like New Edition, and Bobby is my favorite one out of the New Edition. So to do something with him would be great. And then as far as old school producers and stuff like that, man, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, or Teddy Riley or Babyface. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome to do some collaboration or work with them or just be in their presence, you know.
Facts.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go wrong. I mean, and you're top notch too, so it can only go up from there. Now, there are so many talented artists that kind of went mute and went to the black after putting out a few projects or even one project. So you have artists like Brownstone and Jade, just to give a few references. What artist's career would you like to revive if given the opportunity?
Hmm, that's a tough one. I've never been asked that question. That's a good one. That's man. I honestly I don't have an answer for that one. You got me. You really got me. I honestly, man, I don't have an answer for that one.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, you got me on that.
Well, think on it and get back to me.
I will. I will.
Now, in the season of pivot, how have you sustained from the pandemic until now? And then what do you plan to do with all of these new policies and everything put in force, even for the Black community? What do you plan to do moving forward?
Well, I have my own home studio, so that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it
So
is.
I'm able to work irregardless of what's going on outside of the four walls and still be able to produce and you know make content within these four walls right here and people can still get it. So that's the
Right,
beautiful thing. Even a pandemic, working from home, that's the business still goes on. Now, as far as the touring and performing, that's a different case, but I love to do that as well. But then, we could also do some live performances and go live, like we're doing now, make some videos and go live, and you can get a performance this way as well. So,
right,
and those things are in the works. We're definitely trying to figure out when will be the best time to do some live stuff. But as far as the pandemic and just going through the process of, that's the way I'm dealing with it and have dealt with it
right.
ever since we ran into this situation. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, my last question is, where can viewers download your music and follow you for this funky tune?
All right. Well, we on Amazon. We on all of the streaming platforms. I mean, from YouTube to Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music, you can type in Vargas Thomas Music, and you'll get my catalog of music. It is out there on all streaming platforms. And far as following me, I'm on IG, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, and I have a YouTube channel, Vargas Thomas Music, and you can just follow me at Vargas Thomas Music or just simply Vargas Thomas. Make sure you spell it right, Varges, Vargas Thomas. And like I say, IG, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm on all those platforms, and my music is streaming on all of the streaming platforms.
Period. So thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining me, and that's a wrap.
If I called you, would you talk?